welcome back to another episode of Path 7. Um, while we are here today, let's talk about a few things. Life is seeming to become more and more interesting, as in the sense of, it's a great time to be able to analyze the situation that we have in front of us. As in saying that, we're currently under a full moon, which is extremely intuitive emotionally. If you don't have that depth in character, you could get lost in all the subconscious subconscious variants that are around us. And as I say in that, um, it's just a great time to be able to sit back and enjoy the depths and we're climbing in the heights that we are soaring to. It's funny, like every Path 7 episode, I'm feeling more and more like I'm starting to figure out if I'm attached to the chair or if the chair is kind of attached to me. It's interesting. And to finally be in a place where I can look at around and see, like, the growth and how I affect my energy affects people now. And because I have this essence of intrigue around me, meaning, it's just my energy is extremely mysterious. It's like a cloud of the unknown. It's always like around me and permeating with everyone else around me. It's like I have pheromones almost that like touches people's nervous system, and it like makes them. It's the word I'm looking for. It's almost like the energy is like not seducing people, but it's taking them in more into a more delta state where they can really like explore the depths of their own subconscious without without halting their growth. It's like I'm the one person you can be around where you can like escape the clutches of society. And saying that, because I'm so otherworldly, allows me to truly be able to tap into the unknown. And if you're not, it's not to say if you're not able to go into the unknown, but if you're not able to figure yourself out into an expansive way of really understanding self and being able to without being able to objectively kind of just observe what's going on around us, it'll put you in an interesting space. As it's saying right now, I just know how much, how needed I am in society to bring forth a change that is unlike any other. It's just bad when you can see people literally get oversold and like possessed by certain people who are in our energy fields, or certain people who are like 12th house enemies, because everything is becoming way more 12th house. Everything is becoming more the unknown, the past life enemy, the past life friend. Everything is becoming more and more just of that essence that is just. It's interesting. As it's saying, it's interesting. It's more of like we're deep in, because we're dealing with more of outer planets, so everything's more the unknown, the unseen, and it's like, are you going to allow your own fear of change halt you from give me 1 second. Are you going to allow your fear of the unknown halt your growth? Are you going to let the fear of the unknown stop you from truly transcending the things that are holding you back? Because everything that's holding you back is your own tangible. It's your own tangible. Your own tangible, I guess, projections of yourself, or what you allow people to project onto you. And that's one of the things I would never allow to stop me, is just other people's, just projections of the part of themselves that they haven't owned or become accepting of. So as I'm saying that, I'm somebody who's like truly accepting of myself, and then I also know of all this unseen energy that's going on around me that is like also trying to get my attention. Because the more and more I deal with the unseen, the more and more I'm seeing how much of unseen forces are starting to interact with us. And as they're interacting with us, it's like, how can you not allow the unknown to take over your own substance, and how able are you to truly be yourself without allowing others to affect you in any type of way. The only way is within. The only way to transcend this energy is within. There's nothing that we can do but accept it and move through it. Like, as me, I'm just like, I'm used to it, so it's easier for me to kind of accept it and not really fight it as much anymore. Because it's not to say that I'm not fighting it. I'm just not like how everybody else would like try to take a physical fight with this. You can't physically fight these things. These things aren't. They're not physical things to fight. They're more things that you just kind of transgress through. You don't allow these things to really just take advantage of you. You just like, you're understanding, but at the same time you're allowing yourself to go into the void, but not let the void to take over. Like I said, right now my energy that I've been working with is very otherworldly, meaning that when they talk about people who can just stare into space, I stared into space long enough that I created my own reality. You know, I created my own space that people want to pay money and do anything to like kind of be within and work with. So that's where I'm at a place of like, I'm disappointed that I don't see anybody else creating their own worlds, their own 12th house, like life or parallel universes and things like it. So it's interesting, man, when you can actually like reach spaces that other people can't. Where you really have to be able to transcend the parts of yourself that other people aren't owning, in the subconscious of having a president who is Plutonian in like the seat right now. So it's like it's making almost taboo more available to us. Like things that are taboo now they're coming to the surface. As they're coming to the surface, how well can you see, transcend, can you understand, can you not allow these things to take over, and can you allow these things to push you forward? As it's saying that, are you able to transcend? Can you overcome these things that are in front of us that we cannot see? Or are you going to let these people gaslight you, take your energy, and have you keep feeling like you're restarting where there is no thing of restarting or starting? All there is the now. The best, the worst of the now, that's all we really have. There's no back then, there's no time. Everything is right now. Meaning, as it's saying that, everything you see is literally right now in front of you. The past never existed, it never happened. All we have to go on that are books and maybe some of the artifacts we left behind. But what are we doing right now in the moment to transcend the energy that is around us? The only thing around us right now is potential energy. It's nothing but potential energy that has not been transmuted into kinetic energy. The only thing that is around us right now, or not even nouns, adjectives and adverbs. When can we take those adjectives and adverbs turn to nouns, verbs, and things that we can actually use to create and name them as things? What do you name yourself? What are you in the unfathomable world of the abyss that we all have to crawl from the day-to-day basis? Who are you? Do you know who you are? Name yourself. Who are you? What are you? What are you transcending? What are you rising above? What is the things that the machine, the system is putting in front of you for you to crawl to transcend? How well are you fighting? How well are you allowing yourself to transcend this thing that's in front of us? How are you able to get past the things that are barriers for most people? How well can you ascend past these situations? Right now, the sun is in Capricorn, meaning that a lot of power struggles and things that you cannot control are going to be in front of us. How well can you transcend those things? How long can you allow yourself to be gaslighted by others? For how long are you going to allow these people to keep coming back into your life as past life karmics and things like it? You're not going to be able to catch on and see and say, hey, this is not what I'm standing for. This isn't what I'm standing for. I am me. I am a man. You're not going to. Well, I am a human. I am an extraterrestrial in flesh. I am something that transcends time, space, in all different shapes, sizes, and whatever types of. You know what I mean? I went from a gas from a liquid, and now I'm a solid. What can I go from that, and where can I take that to other people so they can transcend their level of suffering, so they can be on the same level as me? If not, is be on the same level as me. What can I do to help these people get better? That's it. What are we doing on a day-to-day basis to make sure that kids in the next generations aren't being placed in the same energy? What are we doing to transcend this thing? What are we doing to take this limiter, this thing that's in front of us? What are we doing to transcend that? What are we doing to get out of this gas which we call reality? What are we doing to break and transcend this thing? What are we doing to stop these people from feeling like they're drugging us and putting us in these certain states that we can't climb out of? What are we doing? What are we doing to transcend this? How can we keep getting better? How can we keep growing? How can we get messages out to everybody and help those messages actually hit the masses so the masses can feel like they're going places and not running backwards and not making moves forward? What can we do? What are we doing? What has society taught us that we have not created, transcended, and got past? Those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. What is our next step? What is our way of transcending what's being put in front of us? What is it? How can we get stronger? What is making us stronger? What is enabling us to stay comfortable? What is it that's holding us back? What can we do to get past this? How many times are we going to keep repeating these cycles for these cycles to come up and be broken? And when are we breaking these cycles? When are we going to allow these cycles to stop happening? When are we going to allow kids to stop having their power taken from them and go into schools and certain systematic places and be institutionalized to think like think like every other single human organism? What are we going to do to remain? What can we do to remain ourselves in a world that is constantly shaping and grooming us to be fucking, excuse my language, to be nothing, to be common, to not be to be ordinary? We don't want to be ordinary anymore. We want to be great. We want to be legendary. We want to be people who climb the highest of mountains, people who champion things that everyone else has pushed down and told them that they couldn't get past it. What are we doing? How are we transcending these situations so we can go further? What are we doing? How can we keep climbing this mountain? How can we keep achieving the unachievable? How can we keep doing these things that we thought were impossible at times? What are we doing? When do we get out of these places that are holding us captive mentally, physically, and spiritually? What can we do? When the world makes us think that we have no way out, where do we go? How can we transcend these things? What's going to stop us? Who's going to stop us? No one. We have the power to change the world ourselves. This world is just literally asking us to bend it to our own abilities, to bend it to our own will. This world is on its knees asking us to transcend. When will we transcend? When will we jump out of this human flesh and start running the life and living the life that we're supposed to in the fourth dimensional or higher dimensions? When do we leave the fleshly body alone and truly transcend and jump out and actually live the life we're supposed to? When? When do we understand that we're Alice in Wonderland and we're sleeping through the process of really waking up and becoming our greatest selves? When do we understand that? When do we understand that this whole system, this whole machine is really like a computer-based software in which we're really living like an algorithm, like Fallout, like Fable, like fucking Soul Leveling, any manga you can read, anything that's two-dimensional is still here. Just someone actually took the idea or the information and like built it up and made it bigger and higher. What are we going to do? What can we do to stay in the world of the living and not the living dead? What are we going to do to transcend this state that is being induced on us on a day-to-day basis? What are we going to do to stay awake? What are we going to do to keep transcending? What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? Those are the questions you have to ask right now. We're dealing with nothing but the unknown. We're dealing with nothing that's tangible. The new enemy we're fighting is not tangible. It's spirit. It's literally spirits. We're not. And when I'm telling you, be prepared for the winter blues, because a lot of these spirits are going to be out here. They're going to be really, really depressed, and they're going to need more energy than ever. So that's why it's so much more important for us to go into this space and actually transcend it, to get better, to fly above societal norms, to keep pushing past what the establishment tries to make us, to do things that we know that is possible for us to do, to climb the highest mountains, to become Mount Everest and never allow anybody to climb us, to open doors for people to get to those highest heights that we've transcended, and also at the same time be able to constantly growing past. When do we wake up and see that we're really in some madhouse that we literally run ourselves and we're allowing other people to kind of hurt us into? You know, when do we really figure that out? When does that part of the game really become something that we can transcend? When do we become able to understand that we can literally wake up and break out of this thing whenever we're ready to? Simple. Simple as that, man. It's that simple. It doesn't need to be any deeper. Just when do we put the power back in our hands? Like, simple. Wake up.